Today's case is one that has haunted the memories of many in South Korea. The chilling and heartbreaking murder of a young college student on Mount Gaji. A crime that stunned the public with its tragedy and betrayal. It began on the afternoon of February 8, 2004, around 2:30 p.m., when a man called South Korea's emergency line. His voice was calm, but his message was alarming. He said he had seen a body beneath a mountain road in Ulsan. Before authorities could ask for more information, he hung up. No name, no callback number, just the location and silence. Officers from the nearby Eonyang substation raced to the area he mentioned. They climbed a steep, wooded slope, difficult to access. Amid the thick brush, they spotted a dark shape, face down in the snow. As they approached, it became clear. It was a young woman, lying motionless over a concrete slab, lightly dusted with snow. But this wasn't just a tragic accident or a lost hiker. Her ankles were tightly bound with green plastic cord. Later, it was discovered that her wrists and neck were tied too. Each binding doubled for extra hold. This was murder. The body was taken to a nearby hospital. She was frozen solid. Investigators had to thaw her body slowly with a hairdryer to begin their examination. What they found told a painful story. There were tiny spots of blood on the front of her underwear and shirt. A pressure mark on her right thigh suggested she had been pinned or remained in one position for a long time. There were injuries beneath her chin, possible signs of strangulation or being struck, and even though she was wearing pantyhose, there was no dirt on her feet. That detail told them she hadn't walked to this place. Someone had brought her. Forensic teams determined that the bindings on her body had been applied with care, meticulously looped, and even doubled in some places. Whoever did this had time. Time to bind her, time to transport her, and time to hide her. Soon, she was identified. A 20-year-old college sophomore from Busan. Let's call her Ms. A. She was intelligent, well-organized, and known for being a top student. She lived alone in a small apartment, and had even earned academic scholarships. Her older sister had reported her missing after she hadn't answered calls. The last conversation they shared was on January 6th, around 7 p.m. A had said, "Sis, I'm feeling down. I'm having trouble with my boyfriend." It was the last time anyone heard her voice. Worried, her sister visited her apartment, but something was wrong. Ms. A was neat by nature, yet the apartment was in disarray. Concerned and confused, her sister instinctively cleaned the room before calling the police, not realizing she was erasing potential evidence. Still, police searched the space carefully. In the kitchen drawer, they found 3 new rolls of green plastic cord, but upon testing, the cord didn't match the one used on Ms. A's body. Detectives now had a victim, but no suspect. They began by investigating everyone connected to her. A resident doctor, a few medical students, men she had met through chat apps, even a Buddhist temple volunteer who had financially supported her education. All were questioned, and one by one, they were ruled out. Then came someone unexpected, her former high school ethics teacher, Mr. G. He was 40, married, and, according to friends of Ms. A, they had been in a relationship. Investigators found pictures of the two together, hiking. Then came the emails, dozens of them, exchanged between 2001 and 2003, filled with romantic language. And the most telling clue, phone records showed that on January 6th, the night Ms. A disappeared, calls were made to her from 2 nearby public phones. One was in Busan. The other was just outside her apartment, next to a store owned by Mr. G's friend. All signs pointed toward him. When his car was searched, police found blood on the backseat floor mat. It was Ms. A's. DNA confirmed it. But even more disturbing, the blood contained saliva. That suggested a violent struggle. trauma to her mouth or throat, possibly suffocation. When questioned, Mr. G began to unravel. His first alibi involved drinks with the school principal. It was a lie. Then he claimed to have met a professor. Another lie. Finally, he said he walked alone on a beach. No one could verify that either. His own wife told investigators he hadn't come home that night, and admitted she had suspected him of having an affair with Ms. A for some time. She even recalled receiving a call from a woman who said, "I'm the one your husband is seeing." Mr. G continued to deny involvement. He described their relationship as, quote, "complicated." In his words, "It wasn't beautiful, but we cared for each other." But investigators weren't swayed by words. The blood in his car, the green cord, the phone records, the timeline, the lies. It was all there. Police believe that on January 6th, Mr. G met Ms. A at her apartment. Maybe she tried to end the relationship. Maybe she answered a call from another man, someone she'd met online. Jealousy may have flared. Rage took over. The attack was likely impulsive. But what followed, binding her, moving her body, covering his tracks, was cold and calculated. Eventually, Mr. G was arrested and charged with her murder. At trial, he showed no remorse, no confession, no apology, just the same line. It wasn't a beautiful relationship. The court disagreed. He was sentenced to life in prison, and so this case closed. But it left behind grief, outrage, and a question that still lingers in the hearts of many. How could someone she trusted, someone meant to guide and teach her, be the one to take her life? Sometimes, evil isn't a shadowy figure. Sometimes, it's a familiar face, a mentor, a teacher, a person who says, "I care." And sometimes, it's the one who holds the rope. Thank you for listening. If this story resonated with you, please share, subscribe, and remember, even when the guilty stay silent, the truth speaks.